Let me make a video about this shit. I was just thinking about this shit. It's too early in the morning, bro. I ain't even been to sleep. It's almost 3:30 in the morning. But I just got this idea, and you know what I'm saying. I gotta talk about this shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to roll my eyes and look gay, my nigga. I ain't try to do that shit. But let me just talk about this shit for a second, and let me vent right quick. So, and like I said, I'm trying to pick you guys up, and you know what I'm saying, cause I'm gonna say this, right? What was I about to say? Nobody's come out the womb like a bad person or anything, or just a failure in life and just a bad person. Like, we are all programmed to certain. This is what I had to really understand. And you can watch videos on this and shit, and just kind of listen. We are all brought up. Programming mean we are all brought up a certain way, dude. We are all taught a certain way. So for me personally, how I was programmed was I was looking videos on the screen. You know what I'm saying? I obviously stumbled across porn when I was young. I seen it in the video. I don't know. I don't even remember how I seen it. I think I seen it in school first. Somebody drew something, then it led to me being curious, because as kids we so curious. We watch everything as kids, really. We watch everything. We hear a lot of shit. We might not hear everything, but we hear a lot of shit. We hear a lot. We hear a lot more than parents and just grown-ups know. You know what I'm saying? We hear a lot of shit. And we dive deep in a lot of shit. We might sneak and listen in some, like, if y'all talking about some shit, like, we might sneak and listen. So it's like, let's talk about me, how I was programmed. I was programmed on the screen. I was programmed to watch pornographic images on the screen, and that became, over time, doing it every day, doing it so repeatedly, and I'm not getting what I should be getting, which is a female, and I'm not doing that. I'm not pursuing that intimacy, and or now I was pursuing that intimacy, right, at one point in time, and I wasn't getting that. I wasn't able to get that due to the circumstances in my life. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of shit going on. Like, my mom had just died, and it was a whole bunch of shit going on. So I was just doing shit to just really take that numbing, just take that kind of pain and that just lost feeling off of my brain. So I'm just jacking off, doing this, jacking off the porn and all this shit. Let's call it what it is. And so that's how I got so fucked up. I wouldn't say the pain of my mom passing caused me to do that, but just not being able to have sex, and like, just that's just it was just, you know what I'm saying, that's just how I programmed myself at the time. I mean, I wasn't knowing the knowledge that I know now, because if I did, I mean, I probably wouldn't be doing the same shit I was doing back then. I wouldn't have did all this shit. But we are all brought up a certain way. Quit beating yourself up because damn, I did this, or damn, like, I'm such a bad person, because I know me, I self-criticize myself a lot. Like, I self-criticize myself harshly. Like, even to this day, I might still catch myself doing that shit. Like, and one thing you gotta realize, it's okay to criticize yourself. Yeah, let your ass know the truth, but don't really you can beat yourself up about it, but don't beat yourself up too hard, like, to the point where you suicidal and all that. That's what I was getting. Like, I just, oh, man, I'm just such a failure. Like, I'm not a good person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, and then, like, if you feel those emotions, you know what I'm saying, just you got to remind you got to self-affirm yourself that you not, you know what I'm saying? What I'm about to say? Self-affirm yourself that you are not your past. That's one thing. You are not your past, you know what I'm saying? Because we all go through failures. I mean, we all fuck ups in our own way. We all fuck up. So it's like, don't even really just beat yourself up. A lot of people beat themselves up for their mistakes. They might even, that's how motherfuckers get. Motherfuckers might fall into drugs and all type of shit. And motherfuckers don't talk about their problems and really just try to seek help. Like, you ain't even got to go talk to a motherfucker. Just sit there with your own thought. Like, you got to just learn meditation. Just learn simple shit. Like, and one thing I noticed over the years, you know what I'm saying, especially me growing up. Let me talk about me before I talk about anybody else. Keep it real about myself. I gave more opinion than to a motherfucker that I didn't know. Oh, and I valued that opinion more than I did myself. And I just think about this shit. I'm like, bro, that's some really dumbass shit. Cause it's like, why would you give motherfucker outside? Cause they like, just say they out and they just judge you for how you look, or they judge if you have, let's say they judge you for how you think, like, they're like, this dumbass nigga. They might call you dumb or something. Say something, they might say you dumb and all that shit, but they don't really. But we give that opinion more validation, more. I think I said I'm trying to make sure I'm saying it right. That's what I'm thinking. Trying to make sure I say it right. That we give that opinion more meaning than ourself, and we should give ourselves more meaning because we the ones dealing with these thoughts every day. He not dealing with these thoughts. Why would you give a fuck about what he got to say? Because, or he or she, you know what I'm saying? Because they not going through your thoughts, and they not. And I had to really just learn that shit. Like, when I was speaking about this shit, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, to my friends and shit, like, I felt some type of way about my friends, like, about this NoFap and shit. Like, what they had to say. I really care for their opinion. Like, I really care for their opinion, but I care more about their opinion than inside of myself. So that internally, just my feelings got hurt and all this shit, blah blah blah. But really, what I should have understood at that time was they not dealing with these thoughts. They not you. You know what I'm saying? They not you. So why would you even give a fuck about what they got to say? They really not even going through what you're going through. They're not going through none of that shit. They haven't went through none of that shit you went through. Ain't felt the emotions, the thoughts and all that shit. They ain't had. So don't really give a fuck about what they got to say. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to pick y'all up and this is just a self-affirmation for not just y'all but myself too, because I'm not perfect. I might slip up and care about what somebody else think. And you know what I'm saying? I might forget what the fuck I just, you know what I'm saying, what I made a video on, and you just gotta reaffirm yourself. What the fuck was that? Make sure that ain't no goddamn But, you know what I'm saying, stay true to yourself, and, you know what I'm saying, just don't be giving these motherfuckers, especially on social media, don't be trying to seek validation and all this shit. You need the only person you need to be validating is your goddamn self. You validate your fucking self. Quit giving motherfuckers outside of yourself more meaning that you do for your own fucking self. You give them more meaning over how you feel. That's basically what you're doing. You give them more meaning on how you feel than your own self. You know what I'm saying? Because they might say something bad about you and you feel bad, but it's like, can't really give a fuck about what people say. You know what I'm saying? Just do you. You know what I'm saying? If you, whatever you're doing, just do you. Do you. Be straight and narrow. Stay focused. Don't be giving a fuck about what nobody else got to say. If you got goals, like, or say, let me give another example. Say if a motherfucker from a basketball game, right? So a motherfucker from a basketball game, they were like, oh, he could have did this, he could have did that. They talking about a specific player. Let's leave LeBron. They critique the fuck out of LeBron. Let's use LeBron for example. That's my favorite player. They critique the fuck out of LeBron, right? They critique him. I got the poster right here. It's kind of see-through. They critique the fuck out of LeBron, right? They could, you know what I'm saying? But they be like, oh, he could have did this, he could have did that. At some point, he cared. Let's be honest. He's human. He cared about what the fuck people think, because he's all in the media and all this shit. But it's like at some point in your fucking life, he said it too. He said you can't give a fuck about what nobody got to say about you no more, because everybody gonna critique everything you do and shit like that. And you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you really and just adding to that, like I said, you can't give a fuck about what nobody else got to say because they not you. Why the fuck would you? Like, you gotta just move forward. And I struggle with that, just making these channels. Because at first I was scared to kind of talk about and just be open about my porn addiction. But because I will post these videos, but I won't really promote my channel. Like, because there's other ways I could be promoting my channel. Instagram, Snapchat. Like, I can tell folks, like, hey man, like, shout me out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout me out. Like, I'm gonna try to get this, or share this video. Hey, you know, just the usual promotion. But I didn't post my channel on Instagram because I care what other people think. I valued their opinion way more than I did my damn self, which is it's dumb. Like, if you really think about it. But what I fail to realize is I'm just if I really want to promote my YouTube or my videos, you know what I'm saying, what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, I really can't, to an extent, I can't really give a fuck about what nobody else got to say. And we gotta grow by any means. Like, we gotta grow by any means. If this can help me, like, say if I post this, say if I post my channel and a motherfucker, I promote it on my Instagram, and a motherfucker comment on, say if I posted on my story, like this my YouTube, go holler at me, go check me out. I speak some facts and all that shit, and a motherfucker be like, oh, man, you a conspiracy theorist, like you retarded, you dumb, like what's wrong with you, and all this shit. Like I can't really get him, I can't get him no, what you call it, I can't really get them no power on how they gonna view me. People gonna view you how the fuck they gonna view you. There's nothing you can really do about it. That's their level of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And so just remember your goal, especially when you kind of spiritual and like how I am, and I speak on certain shit like porn and shit like that. But just remember the goal. Like, say if you a NoFap YouTuber and all this shit, you talk about this shit, and you just talk about the journey that you've been through, and you scared to promote your shit because you scared like what your friends gonna think and all that shit. But you don't need. I'm starting to realize that you don't really need the motherfuckers that's really gonna judge like this nigga. What's wrong with this nigga? This nigga weird. This nigga this. Like none of them niggas is your bro. Them you don't need to be. You don't even click with them niggas. You don't even click with them. So don't even fuck what they got going on. Stay focused on the goal, which is helping somebody else. That's really just the ultimate goal. You know what I'm saying? And that's really all it is. So I'm out this bitch.